Hey, and welcome. We're going to jump right in today with a massive question. In a world that's changing so fast it can make your head spin, what is a university even for anymore? We're going to dive into its timeless principles and its brand new mission, all inspired by a really powerful speech. And it all kicks off with a paradox.
I don't think there's a better way to describe right now than these famous words from Dickens. It really feels like we're living in this age of paradox, doesn't it? We have these incredible opportunities, but at the same time, there's just so much confusion. It's like we have all the information in the universe at our fingertips, but almost no certainty.
And this feeling, this paradox, it's being fueled by these huge waves of change coming at us from all sides. On a global scale, you've got generative AI just completely rewriting the rules. Then, nationally, new education policies are shifting how we even think about higher learning. And then, right down to the state level, university laws are constantly evolving. It's a real perfect storm of change.
So, all this chaos kind of forces us back to this really basic fundamental question. When everything seems to be changing, what is the one, core, unshakable purpose of a university? What's its real job? And to answer that, we've actually got to take a little trip back in time.
Now, humans have always had places to learn, right? From ancient Indian gurukuls to incredible universities like Nalanda. But the modern university, the one we think of today, has a pretty specific origin story. It started taking shape back in the 11th century in Bologna. But the real game changer, the idea that turned everything on its head, came about a century later, and it was this one powerful concept: academic freedom. The idea that you should be free to ask questions and follow the truth no matter what. That is the bedrock of everything.
Okay, now let's jump forward 900 years to 1988. To celebrate the 900th birthday of that first university, leaders from all over the world got together and signed this, the Magna Carta Universitatum. You can think of it as the modern-day DNA of a university. It's a promise to stick to those core principles that should guide every single university on the planet.
So, what's in that DNA? Well, it boils down to three huge ideas. First, that academic freedom we just talked about. It means that research should be driven by curiosity, not by a political agenda or who's writing the checks. Second, this idea that teaching and research are two sides of the same coin. You can't separate them. The stuff you discover in research makes your teaching better, and the questions from students spark new research. They fuel each other. And third, the university has to be a place for open dialogue, a space where any idea can be discussed and debated with respect.
And when you really absorb these principles, it leads to this huge shift in your own mindset. The minute you walk through those doors, your role fundamentally changes. You're not just a student anymore. You are becoming a scholar.
So let's break that down. What's the real difference? Well, a student, for the most part, receives knowledge. You follow a path that's been laid out for you. But a scholar gets to co-create knowledge. You don't just follow the path, you help forge new ones. You're not just there to learn the answers. You're there to ask brand new questions. It's a total shift from being a passive audience member to an active player on the stage.
Okay, I know. Scholar sounds like a pretty big, intimidating title, right? A lot of responsibility. But here's the incredible part. The tools you have right now, in the 21st century, to make that leap from student to scholar are more powerful than at any other time in human history. Seriously.
So what does this modern toolkit even look like? Well, first off, forget spending all your time in dusty old libraries. You have digital access to these massive e-libraries, putting millions of articles right at your fingertips. There are also these big national initiatives trying to make even more of that research totally free for everyone. And then there's the newest tool in the box, the one that's a total game changer, generative AI.
For generations, one of the biggest walls for anyone wanting to be a truly global scholar has always been language. The simple fact is, the vast majority of the most important, cutting-edge research gets published in English, and that's been a massive hurdle for so many brilliant people all over the world.
Well, that wall is coming down fast. With tools we have right now, you can take a dense, complicated research paper in English and in literally seconds get a pretty darn good translation or a simple summary in your own native language. That language barrier that locked away so much knowledge for so long, it's crumbling. The world of scholarship has never, ever been this open.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's really important to remember this. Deciding to go into higher education, it's not just the next automatic step. It's a conscious choice you make, a choice to join this tradition, to use these tools, and to become a scholar. And it's an experience that, believe me, will shape you and create memories for a lifetime.
So, the timeless principles of the university, they're the foundation. Modern technology gives you the tools. And now, all of it is in your hands. So the only question left, and it's the only one that really matters, is what will you discover? What will you build?